Good morning, children. Let's back to the business study online class. And today, this is the second video of your chapter number 9, financial management. Student, just have a quick review that what we have done in our first video of financial management. So in this chapter, basically, we are going to read that how much important finance play in any business and how the finance need to be managed by a business enterprise so that maximization of profit can be done. So the first thing is managing finance in a business is called as financial management. So here you can define that financial management is basically a process. Financial management is basically concerned with optimum procurement as well as uses of finance, means getting finance in an optimum manner and using that finance in an optimum manner is called as financial management, right? Now we have done here that the meaning of business finance. Business finance basically means all those money which is required to carry out a business activity is called as business finance. Next, here we have done about the importance or the role of financial management. So children, whenever we talk about to know the financial condition of any business enterprise, you have read all those things in accounts also that the financial statement is required. So it means to know the financial health of a business, to know the financial condition of a business, we require to prepare the financial statement. And that now the financial statement can be prepared as a form of balance sheet, it can be prepared as a form of profit and loss account, and these all just reflect the financial position and the financial health of a business enterprise. Now whenever we prepare the financial statement to know the financial condition of a business, there are certain items which directly or indirectly reflect the financial decision taken by a management, right? Now what are these? Like the size and the composition of fixed assets of business. Now this basically say that if the size of the fixed assets of any business will get increased, it is going to affect the capital budgeting decision, right? Means if a capital budgeting decision has been taken to invest more money investing in assets means we are taking capital budgeting decision. So this is going to affect the financial size and the composition of fixed assets. Next is the quantum of current asset. Now if we will increase our assets, if we are increasing our assets by investing into the capital budgeting, it means the same manners the current assets will also be increased. It means within the increase in the investment in the fixed asset, there will be increase in the working capital requirement also, means the day-to-day working capital requirement. Next is the amount of long-term and short-term funds to be used. It means that whenever financial management involve decision like the proportion of long-term and the proportion of short-term fund required to be investment. So this also affect the financial condition of a business. Next is breakup of long-term financing into debt equity. This decision of financial is basically said that it is a very important decision where we means a business enterprise required to take a decision that how much investment has to be done into a long term financing by the help of debt and by the help of equity. Now if we will be taking debt, we need to pay out the interest. If we will be investing money by the help of equity, right? So in that case we have to give them dividend. So these all decisions need to be taken care. And next is all item in the profit and loss account. Now this say that how the financial decision affect the financial statement in case there is anything changes, any decision regarding the investment in the long term or in the short term or in the investment in the capital budgeting has been taken out, the amount of the interest, expenses, depreciations, all things get also affected directly or indirectly. So this is again the financial decision is going to affect the profit and loss account of a business. This is all we have read on that in the previous video very deeply, and today we are going to discuss about the objective of financial management. It means why we need to manage finance in our business. So student, there is only one and primary objective of managing finance into the business is to maximize shareholder wealth. It means to increase the wealth of shareholders. And how we can able to increase the wealth of shareholder? by wealth maximization concept. By wealth maximization concept basically means if the investment which is done by the shareholder to start or to run a business, for that he used to purchase the share. That is the reason we call it him as a shareholder, because he has invested money and he has purchased the share of a business and become shareholder, who are also called as the owner of a business, right? So the main objective of any financial management is to maximize the shareholder wealth. And how the shareholder wealth can be maximized? The wealth of a shareholder can be maximized by increasing the prices of its shares, right? It means if the shareholders has purchased certain shares and invested money into the business, and we have to increase his profit. For increasing his profit, we need to increase the market prices of the share which he is having. And how the market prices of the share can be increased, how the market value of the share can be increased? So this is just because a company fund is belonging to the shareholder, right? We should be knowing that the money is invested by the shareholder, so all the fund is belonging to the shareholder, and the manner in which they are invested and the return earned by them determine their market value and price. It means the amount which shareholder invest into the business, the way this investment has been done, and the return earned by him on this investment decide the market value of a share. If the share has been invested in a proper way, in an optimum manner, and the return which a owner is getting on the shares are more comparing to the cost of investment, it means the share prices of market value will be increased, or this is going to affect positively to the profit of shareholders by maximizing the value. Now the market price of an equity share increase if the benefit from a decision exceed the cost involved. Now how we can say that the market price of equity shares are more? So for this we have to compare two things. The first thing is that whenever any investment decision has been taken out, what was the cost? Cost ko you can understand by expenditure. What was the cost or the expenditures occurred for this investment, right? So that is one thing. And then how much return we have get, means what is the actual market price of a share. So when we compare the cost with the actual prices of the share, and if the actual prices of the share increase in comparing to the cost, we will say that the market price of the shares has been increased and the business is getting profit. So we need to be very careful whenever we will be taking any financial decision. We should be take all those financial decisions in such a manner so that it will be gainful for the point of shareholders, right? So the shareholders gainful point basically means where the market value of the shares are increased, by which the shareholder is going to get profit. So we can say that the objective of financial management is to maximize the current price of equity share of a company, or to maximize the wealth of owner of the company, that is called as a shareholders. And how we can do it, children? For doing this, or for achieving the main primary objective of financial management, that is to increase the profit of shareholders, to maximize its wealth. And maximization कैसे हो रहा है wealth का? उसके shares के prices का market value को increase करके, right? Now how it is done? This is basically done if a manager, or if in the business the decision regarding the investment or this decision regarding the finance taken from the manager or the enterprises in a proper manner. So we have to be very careful whenever any decision is taken about the investment in a new machine, in a new project. It should be aim of financial management should be aim is to see that the benefit from the investment should exceed the cost, so that addition value can be taken place. Addition value means agar suppose if I have invested certain money into this machine, suppose I have purchased a machine for my business enterprise by 1 lakh. After some time this 1 lakh will be called as a cost for that machine, right? So after some time, if I have got the return from that machine, or the benefit from using that machine is 1 lakh and 50,000, So this 50,000 which is over, which is exceed, is called as extra, or it's called as the value addition of shares, which is going to be get from a shareholder side. इसका profit किसको मिलने वाला है? Shareholder side का. So how it's affecting here? This is completely a correct decision taken from a management side, or this is a correct decision taken from a shareholder side or any other people who is running the business, that in which machine, in which assets they are required to invest, or in which they should not be investing their machine, they in which they should not be investing their money. So if a correct decision about investment has been taken out, it's going to add the value of share, or if any wrong decision about the investment will be taken out, it's going to give losses to the shareholder by reducing its share values, right? So basically the financial decision is basically, the ultimate objective is guide the decision maker that some value addition should be taken place. Means the people who are taking decision, the main work objective of financial decision is, or financial management is, to guide all those people so that whenever any decision they are taking regarding finance, the value addition is there. Means value addition means the share prices should be increased, right? And how it can be done? For this, the people, those who are taking decision, they should be making decision efficiently. They should be checking all those things before taking the decision, that no decision should be taken regarding finance into the business which will decrease the shareholders profit. Now in this video, students, we will be going to discuss about the three different decisions which is very important for any manager for increasing the shareholder profit, and that is the financial decision. Next it will be investment decision, and the third will be dividend decision. Now financial decision, you can see here financial decision. It's basically financial management is concerned with the solution of three major issues relating to the financial operation of a firm, corresponding to the three questions of investment, financing and dividend decision. It means financial decision क्या है? All those decisions which are related with the solution of three major issues of financial operations are called as financial decision. And what are these three issues? These three issues are related with investment, related with financing and related with dividend. Now we are going to discuss about these important three decisions of business, that is financing decision, investment decision and dividend decision, which affect the financial condition of a business, which affect the profit and loss of a business enterprise also. Now let's start with the investment decision, right? So what is the investment decision inside the financial decision? Financial decision के अंदर में investment decision क्या है? Investment decision basically means that whenever we talk about any firm or any organization, the resources which are available into the organization, they are in scarce basically means they are in limited manner, right? So it has to be taken, the investment decision has to be taken in such a way that these resources should be utilized, these resources should be invested into there where more and more profit can be possible and more return can be get from a investor side, right? Like suppose I have 1 lakh rupees in my business, right? Now as a manager or as an enterprise, before taking the investment decision of this 1 lakh rupees, it means before I will decide that where I will be investing this 1 lakh rupees, I have to go through with each and every project. I have to check that which project will be there where if I will be investing this money, I will be getting more and more return. So this is a caliber decision, this is a smart decision need to be taken from a manager's side to invest the finance of business there where maximum profit can be gained. Now the investment of a business can be done into two manners, right? The first is the investment decision whenever we took that we go through with a long term investment or we either go through with a short term investment. Now long term investment means more than 1 year. Long term investment basically means which is also called as capital budgeting decision, यानी जब हमें लॉन्ग टर्म में किसी प्रोजेक्ट पे अपनी मनी को अपने फाइनेंस को इन्वेस्ट करना है तो उसे हम लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट भी बोलते हैं और कैपिटल बजटिंग डिसीजन भी बोलते हैं. नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट कैपिटल बजटिंग डिसीजन, it involves committing the finance on a लॉन्ग टर्म बेसिस मीन्स जहाँ पे हम लोग अपनी मनी को, अपने फाइनेंस को बिजनेस के इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं लंबे टाइम के लिए, लॉन्ग प्रोजेक्ट के लिए, राइट. मेकिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट इन अ न्यू मशीन टू रिप्लेस एन एग्जिस्टिंग वन, on acquiring a new fixed assets or opening a new branch. ये सब क्या है? These all things are going to get you profit in a long term manners. Like if we are investing money into replacing a new machines, you will not get quick benefit of this, you will not get a quick return of that, right? Because machine आपको क्या करेगी? लॉन्ग टर्म में बेनिफिट प्रोवाइड कराएगी, राइट. सो दिस विल बी कॉल्ड एज अ डिसीजन ऑफ कैपिटल बजटिंग. सेम थिंग इज दैट अ न्यू फिक्स्ड एसेट्स or a new branch of a business has been set up. This will not give you a quick return in a days or month. This is going to give you a return after a long period of time. That is the reason we say that these all are long term decision, and these all are also called as capital budgeting decision. Now whenever we took capital budgeting decision or long term decision, we should be very careful, because here it affect the earning capacity of a business for a long period of time. If any wrong decision has been taken in the investment of capital budgeting or in the investment of long term, then it's going to affect your business for a long period of time. It's going to affect the size of assets also, it's going to affect the profitability of your business also, it is also going to affect the competitiveness of your business into the marketplace. So a manager need to be very careful at the time of taking long term or capital budgeting decision, because in these type of decision it required a huge cost, it required a huge amount of investment. So in case anything wrong decision has been taken out, the business is going to suffer a lot. And once any long term decision has been taken, it's not possible to take them back, right? So this was all about investment decision. इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन मीन्स अपने बिजनेस के रिसोर्सेज मीन्स फाइनेंस को आपको कहाँ पे इन्वेस्ट करना है ताकि आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट मिल सके. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन. इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन वी हैव डिवाइडेड इनटू टू पार्ट, द लॉन्ग टर्म विच इज़ ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज कैपिटल बजटिंग, एंड द नेक्स्ट विल बी योर शॉर्ट टर्म, right? The short term decision basically means these decision affect the day to day working of a business. means ये long term में affect नहीं करेंगे short term decision जो आपके होंगे investment के, लेकिन ये डे टू डे जो वर्किंग कंडीशन होती है बिजनेस की उसको अफेक्ट करते हैं. लाइक लिक्विडिटी, आपके बिजनेस में कितना कैश अवेलेबल है ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर डे, दैट कॉल्ड एज अ लिक्विडिटी. प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ऑफ अ बिजनेस. सो दिस इज ऑल कॉल्ड एज अ शॉर्ट टर्म बिजनेस or short term decision. Children, now I'm just revising it that in financial decision we are taking all the decisions regarding finance into the business contained, right? The financial management is basically concerned with the solution of three major issues relating with financing operation or financial operation of a business, and these three decisions are financial decision are: the first is investment decision. The investment decision I have explained you that because the resources, especially the resources of finance which is available to the business in a limited manner, it becomes the duty of an enterprise to invest that limited manner's financial resources in such a way so that more and more profit can be gained. Now this investment decision are divided into two parts. A business enterprise can invest the finance into a long term project also or a short term project also. Now whenever any long term investment decision are taken, it is called as capital budgeting decision, and it involve a long term of finance or a huge amount of finance. So in that case, if anything wrong decision has been taken out here, it's completely affect the profitability of a business also and the market position of a business also. Next is your short term decision of investment. Short term decision of investment basically affect the day to day working of a business. Now like liquidity, it means how much a particular amount in cash is available on a particular day to your business. So this is all called as the short term decision. Now we are going to read about the factor affecting the capital budgeting decision. Means कौन कौन से फैक्टर्स होते हैं जो अफेक्ट करते हैं कैपिटल बजटिंग के डिसीजन में. मीन्स वेन एवर एनी बिजनेस एंटरप्राइज टुक एनी कैपिटल बजटिंग डिसीजन और वेन एवर एनी एंटरप्राइज टुक दैट आई हैव टू इन्वेस्ट मनी फॉर अ लॉन्ग टर्म पर्पस, what are the different factors which affect its decision, right? So let's see. The first is cash flow of the project. It means if we are taking, when I'm saying we I'm talking about business enterprise, right? So if a business enterprise is taking any decision regarding the investment of capital budgeting or regarding the investment into a long term project, so what will be important there? टू चेक द कैश फ्लो ऑफ अ प्रोजेक्ट, यानी जो प्रोजेक्ट आपने इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है, जिस प्रोजेक्ट पे आप इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, लाइक 5 ईयर 10 ईयर का अगर कोई प्रोजेक्ट है जिसमें आपने इन्वेस्ट किया है, उस 10 ईयर और 5 ईयर के प्रोजेक्ट में कैश फ्लो कब आ रहा है आपके पास में? इट मीन्स is the whole cash of coming with after the end of the project only, or in the between also the company is going to get certain amount? So that also decide whether the investment has to be done or not. Let's read here. When a company take an investment decision involving huge amount, it expect to generate some cash flow over a period. It means if I have taken a capital budgeting decision, if I have taken a investment decision to invest into any project of 5 year, it become my responsibility to check also whether this 5 year project is going to generate some cash in between of the period also or not. यानी वो 1 साल के बाद में 2 साल के बीच में भी मुझे कुछ रिटर्न दे रहा है या नहीं दे रहा है, because I will require certain amount of cash in my business so that the requirement of the other thing can also be done. So this is also a very important decision of a capital budgeting, that what is the condition of cash flow of the project into the business. Next is the rate of return. Now the most important criteria is the rate of return of the project. It means whenever any long term investment decision is taken out, we need to be very careful, because long term decision we require huge amount of investment. So the enterprise need to be very careful. He need to calculate each and every project ROI first, rate of return first. इट मीन्स जितने भी प्रोजेक्ट हैं उसके सारे के रेट ऑफ रिटर्न उसको चेक करने पड़ेंगे. एंड द प्रोजेक्ट वेयर मोर रेट ऑफ रिटर्न इज देयर, the project where less risk is there, he will go through with that project. Example is also given here student. Suppose there are two project A and B with the same risk, यानी दो प्रोजेक्ट अवेलेबल हैं एक इंटरप्राइज के पास में इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए, दोनों का रिस्क क्या है? सेम है, बट अ रेट ऑफ रिटर्न इज़ 10% इन वन प्रोजेक्ट एंड अनदर प्रोजेक्ट इज़ 12%. यानी लेकिन जो रेट ऑफ रिटर्न है, अगर वो ए प्रोजेक्ट में इन्वेस्ट करता है तो 10% आएगा और बी में इन्वेस्ट करेगा तो 12% उसको रिटर्न होगा, राइट? सो it become a responsibility of a business enterprise to go through with that project where he can have more and more rate of return, so that in this case he will prefer to invest money into project B. Next is the investment criteria involved. It means what is the criteria involved for investment in the project. Like the decision to invest in a particular project involve a number of calculation regarding the amount of investment, interest rate, cash flow and rate of return. These are different techniques to evaluate investment proposal, which are known as capital budgeting technique. These techniques are applied to each proposal before selecting a particular project. It means before going through with the investment into a particular project, we also need to see that what is the criteria involved for the investment. It means how much money we need to calculate certain things, certain number for each and every project, and then we need to compare each and every project. Like we need to calculate the investment amount which we need to do in the project, what will be the interest rate which we have to give, what will be the cash flow, and what will be the rate of return. After calculating all those things, we need to compare it, and a project where we will have a less risk, where we will have more rate of return, we should go through with those projects, right? So there are lots of technique by which we can evaluate this, or by which we can invest proposal. So these all techniques are called as capital budgeting technique. Student, in our next video we will be discussing about the financing decision, the second decision of your financial management. Thank you.